Winter storm prep video, but here's what I want you guys to do. Instead of me going down a big list about winter storm prep stuff, I'll show you what I'm doing here the day before the storm moves in. I want you guys to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing. What are some of the things that you do? What are your prep items? What's on your list? Are you thinking about food? Are you thinking about water? Are you thinking about electricity? Are you thinking about long-term power outages? Because these storms can be really unpredictable. We may just get a little dusting. We may get a ton of ice. We may lose power for a long, who knows? So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing for your storm prep. And here we go. We'll just shoot a video. I'm always doing something stupid. What are you building, Doc? I'm thinking about doing a live stream tomorrow during the snowstorm. And I don't know if I'm going to shoot the barn area behind or the pond. Drop a comment, let me know which I should do, but I think people are going to vote on the pond. So I'm building a box where I can put my phone on a tripod, and then I've got this solar charger unit that I can sit here and just let it run. So after I get done hunting, maybe I'll come up here once the snow starts falling and I'll run a live stream. We'll see how long it goes. I think you can go 12 hours. So make sure you're subscribed. Anyways, today we're going to talk about storm prep and some things you may not think about and why people always panic. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Here we go. Morning. So I'm just going to mash up a video today. Give you something to watch if you're stuck. The snowstorm is coming. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I have waited. We haven't had the last recorded snowfall over an inch was, I believe, 2018 here. And I want to say it's been over a decade since we've had a snow during hunting season. And everyone that knows me knows that that's all I want. I want a snowstorm during hunting season. We've got 2 days left of hunting season. It closes on the 12th. I thought it was the 15th. It's the 12th. And so tomorrow morning, I am going to be in a deer stand. And I'm going to be sitting there. It's going to be so peaceful. Foxes, rabbits, squirrels, deer, just chilling watching that snowfall. It's going to be so cool. So cool. So, but we need to think about storm prep. Now, as you guys know, I have the new channel for preparation, all the preparation stuff we do here. And I don't have to worry about it. That's why you prepare. I've always said my life motto has sort of been prepare for the worst because good things always take care of themselves. Have you ever noticed how you really haven't had a plan for good things happening? So I don't have to worry. We've done a lot of work here just to make this place basically self-sufficient. The only thing we draw from the outside is electricity, and I'm going to show you some updates. I just updated the backup battery system. I got 1,000 pounds of solar panels sitting over here in my driveway. I'll show you those. But think about what I want you guys to think about. Everyone has had that sinking feeling. You go to the store, oh, it's going to snow tomorrow. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get some milk and eggs, and you go there and everything's gone. Or there's a hurricane coming and all of a sudden you hear that the gas supply has been disrupted. You go to the gas station and there's a mile-long line for gas. You need to be planning way in advance. So if you hear a snowstorm might be coming 5 days in advance, don't do what my wife does. My wife goes, oh, it'll probably just be rain. I'm going to plan for the fact that we're going to have 6 inches of snow and an inch of ice and everything's going to be shut down and we're going to lose power. That way I don't have to worry. And that's what I want you guys to start doing. I want you guys to sort of think, okay, there's a hurricane approaching, so let's just plan for the fact that it's going to wipe out power for 5 days. Just be a little advanced. Today I'm going to go start my gas generator just for the hell of it. I haven't started it in a couple months. I need to go ahead and start that. I'll walk you over. I'll show you the brand new badass EcoFlow. We went from a single to a double stack. I'm now running 50 amps with 60,000 kilowatts of battery time. They can run this house conservative. If I'm conservative, probably 3 days. I can run this house off those 2 battery stacks. We're going to be ground mounting solar panels over there, right at that shadow line over there. So we'll be getting sun almost all day long. What else? You got to think about food. You got to think about water. And the other thing is if you have to drive, be prepared. Plan for the fact that, like happened years ago here in Atlanta, people got stuck on the road for hours, all night long. Matter of fact, I think one person died and she was only like a couple hundred yards away from her house. So just be prepared. Up north, a lot of people are used to this. They have a sleeping bag, they have some food, have a way to charge your phone. These little cell phone chargers, I'm going to show you here in a minute. Matter of fact, that's what I'm using on that live view, is a cell phone charger that can charge your cell phone 5 times, and it's solar charging. Anyways, John just pulled up. John's going to do a big firewood run. We have a wood stove. He's going to do a firewood run. He's going to trash run, a couple other things. But man, let me tell you what. It's still 24 degrees out here. It was 19 degrees in the deer stand this morning. It was chilly. So here we go. I'll just throw some crap together for you. Ooh, I'm gonna let that thing warm up. All right, so John's here. He's doing firewood. Little chilly? Oh, you got 2 suits on. I gave him my old hunting jumpsuit. He's got that and a jacket on. So we're doing firewood. I want to show you guys. I keep this up in my container along with all my feed, but that's gosh, about 1.5 cords of firewood. So I mean, in Georgia that's enough for basically almost 2 years, but we're going to do a big stack, so you might have to make a couple runs, put it down in the shed, and then we'll do trash run and a couple of little tiny things, and that's it. But dude, it's cold. It was 19 degrees this morning and I got in the deer stand. I had all my electric stuff on. Electric socks, electric vest, electric hand warmers. I've gone all electric. I'm EV, the EV hunter. The chickens are pissed off at me because I don't know why. They just want their treats in the morning. Someone keeps asking, oh, by the way, an update. Someone asked for an update on the chicken I had to do surgery on. She's doing great. I have some video of her the other day, but she was actually in there laying eggs. She's healed up. I had to cut off that little floppy thing called a comb. She must have gotten into a fight with another chicken and it ripped off and she was bleeding all over the place. So in my last video I showed that. Hi girls. They do really well. Chickens do really well in the south in the wintertime. This kind of weather, they've got down coats on, so this doesn't bother them. They're actually pretty warm. So they're funny. They this outside water tank, whenever I break up the ice, they get all excited, and I've seen chickens run around with a piece of ice in their mouth and other chickens chasing them. I don't know what it is about ice. Shiny, it's shiny, but they think it's something special. So when I break it up, they'll go running. But this one inside, I have a seed germination pad under this one, and this one you can see it never freezes. Morning girls. I'll come get your eggs in a little while. I know you've already got a lot of eggs in here. Yep. You've already got eggs everywhere. So I'm getting 24 eggs a day right now. Look at them. They just, like it's jewelry or diamonds or something. I think it's frozen solid. All right, so let me explain a feature that the way that I have my backup system rigged up. I have a really cool feature in that, okay, this is a gas generator, and this gas generator has a whole house plug over here, and that whole house plug goes into my panel, and I have an interlock switch. Start up, kill the main power, start up the generator, throw the switch, I have power to the house. Well, what's interesting is, and what I do when I do that, I actually go up for the gas generator. Now I have a backup battery system over there. I go down, and when I go down, now I'm on the backup battery. But here's what I can do. During the day, if I want, if I don't have my solar panels up, I can run this. It goes into my house. Well, this also, the cabin is powered through that house panel. So what I can do is I can actually charge my backup batteries while I'm running the house and the gas generator. And then at night, if I want, I can switch over to batteries. Now I've got a huge system over there. This was our final goal. So I've got 50 amps, 14,000 watts coming to the house, and I've got 60 kilowatts, 60,000 watt hours stored up there in batteries. But I need to open this thing up and check this. So I'm gonna let that run for a while. I'll put it in eco mode and it'll quiet down once it warms up. But that'll also charge that battery too. So I just threw it into eco mode. That's an inverter generator. 8750 starting watts, 7,000 running watts, and that'll pretty much run everything in my house. Plus, what I'll be able to do, you know, the average house when you're just on standby using a couple lights and TV, it's like 1100 to 1600 watts with your refrigerator, that kind of stuff. So the excess wattage will actually be over here charging my EcoFlow system. Do you see those solar panels, man?
Got some over there, man.
That's 1,050 pounds. That's 1,050 pounds of solar panels. There's 10 panels. They're 410 watts each. And man, their casing is plywood and metal. Thank God the truck was able to drop it. This is a set of adjustable mounts. We'll probably tie that in over here. But I'm going to run over and show you that new battery system that we put over there. Okay, so let me show you. This is now the final system. This is what we had planned for. This is a dual stack EcoFlow system. Each inverter head has 5 batteries. This puts off roughly 7,000, it's like 7,200 watts. And each battery stores 6,000 watt hours. So 6 times 5, that's 30, plus 30. So I have 60,000 watt hours sitting here. And that's enough for my house, honestly. If I'm conservative, 2.5 days probably, I would imagine. But these put off only 30 amps, and I have a big heat pump. My heat pump is somewhere in between 4 and 5 tons. I can't remember exactly. And it's just not going to work well with this kind of a setup. So we went ahead and we got the 50 amp hub. Now what this does, this brings in power from both of these, and it turns it from a 30 amp into a 50 amp 14,000 watt. Now this, right now we just have temporarily with a cable. This plugs into here, which is your 50 amp plug. I still kept the 30 amp plug. Excuse the dust, we just installed this. I kept the 30 amp plug. And why did I keep the 30 amp plug? There's a couple reasons, but let's say one of these malfunctions. I can still run 30 amps back to the house. Let's say I want to take one of these and put it somewhere else. I want to put it at the barn, or I want to put it give it to my daughter to use, or whatever. This is gone. The beautiful thing, these things are more expensive than a do-it-yourself solar installation, but there's no permits, there's no installation, there's nothing to drill, there's nothing to put up on the walls. You don't have to do any wiring. Everything is all done. You pay extra for that convenience. Plus, it's on wheels. Now, it's heavy. This stack is about 600 pounds. That stack is about 600 pounds. So maybe I need to put a brace under that floor a little, but it's holding up fine. In 30 minutes, if I want to, I can pop all these apart, throw them in the back of a truck, and boom, I'm gone. And now I can take my energy system anywhere I want. No permits, no installation, nothing. A lot of systems now, they're requiring you to have professional installation. They make you get permits. My electric company is horrible when it comes to how they regulate solar here. But this, tested it yesterday, had a couple little glitches come up. They didn't want to talk to my Wi-Fi system. One would and one wouldn't, but I worked through that, got that all set. But I am thrilled. Absolutely thrilled right now. So remember, when you shut off a generator, don't shut the switch off. Turn the fuel off. Let the fuel suck out of the system. Otherwise, it'll varnish or caramelize, whatever you want to say. So you want that fuel to burn out of the system. Kind of a weird note, but I ordered, if you don't have Walmart delivery, you sign, I think it's $90 a year for their preferred whatever. And you get 90-minute delivery for $5 or something like that. And for me, it would take me 25 minutes to drive there, half an hour, do all my shopping, drive back, gas, get in an accident. And for I tip them pretty good too. So, I mean, for $20 to not have to get into my truck and drive down there and do the shopping and have it delivered here in 90 minutes or less, dude. So this morning, everyone else, I told John, I placed my order at 6:37 this morning and placed my order for whatever I needed from Walmart. And I told John, I said, dude, if you need anything, go now, because this afternoon, everything's gonna be gone. That's the way it works in the South. Everything's gonna be off the shelf here soon. So here's a tip I'll throw to you guys that came up when we upgraded this power system. If you're gonna have a whole house generator plug installed on your house, make sure or ask your electricians to use 6-gauge wire. And why is that? Most systems, most generators will run 30 amps to your house. But if you ever want to bump up to a 50 amp system, you'll have to pull all that wire and replace your 10 or 8 gauge wire with 6 gauge. It's all about amps. So to run 50 gauge, we had to make sure that every wire over here on the plug and going into my breaker box, was replaced with 6 gauge. So not too much forethought on my behalf, but I didn't realize my heat pump is like 4.5 tons, and I really need a 50 amp system. So, plus I wanted all that extra storage. Let me see if I can open this up for you real quick. All right, so this is the huge, let me take my glove off here. This is the big 2224 cable that comes from the cabin. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's a what is it, neutral or ground? That's the ground. So there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 cables there. This one is the ground. It's grounded into the box, into the ground thing. These up here had to be replaced because and these right here we replaced. These go to the house. So when I go down, I'm tying into the electric over here, and that goes into the house system right here. So it goes from there into the house. They went ahead, and he also went ahead and did it for the top ones. Now someone's going to say, how come you have red, black? It's a good question. I actually asked the same thing, and he was actually smart about it. Because he has to trace this back in and connect it up, he decided to run red for the gas generator and black for the 2 leads for the electric. That's why. Normally it'd be a red and a black, but he decided just to color code it, and so he wouldn't get confused. Red is gas, black is for the electric. So again, this is neutral position is system off. That's gas generator. Down is electric. And that's pretty cool right there. Now, one mistake that was made, let me see if I can see it in here. He brought over, his shop ordered 6.2 cable instead of 6.3. And what does that mean? The 6.2 has 2 hot wires and a ground. A 6.3 has 2 hot wires, a ground, and a neutral. So after he got done doing this, he was about to hook it up, he goes, I don't have a ground. He said, this is a 6.2. So here's what we did. We actually took, we actually cut a piece off the old, we actually used the old neutral, which is a 8. And it's okay to do that with the neutral wire. And why is that? The neutral wire, if you have 2 hot leads going in, the only thing that the neutral wire carries back is the difference between those 2 leads. So let's say one of the wires has 20 amps and one of those wires has 15 amps. The neutral wire will only be carrying 5 amps. So it'll never carry 50 amps. It'll never even probably carry 30 amps. It'll usually carry somewhere between 2 and 15 amps. So using a smaller wire on your neutral is okay here. So I had to go through that process. I wasn't aware of that, but it was a good learning experience. So the neutral wire doesn't carry a full amp load. It carries the difference between the 2. And that's why if you don't unbond your generator and hook it up to your panel inside your house, that's why some of your GFCI switches can start flipping, because that's what happens. It feels a real big imbalance, and when it feels a real big imbalance, it starts throwing those GFCI breakers. So anyways, a little food for thought there. So this is what happens when you're an idiot and you have frost-free spigots out here and you don't disconnect your hose. These are frost-free. When you close the handle, all the water drains out, goes into the ground. Unless you leave your hose connected, and then the water, the vacuum, the suction doesn't go all the way. So I don't want to heat this because there's probably rubber gaskets right there. I don't want to get too much heat here. So I'll let the heat actually transfer up. All right, so last 2 days of hunting season, tomorrow and Saturday, and I'm gonna go put out some more. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of corn back there, and then I'm gonna stay out of the woods, and I wanna hunt in the snow. By the way, if you want something really good for deer, instead of whole kernel corn, this right here, because everyone runs out of corn during deer season, this is scratch grains, and basically what it has is it has cracked corn, oats, and I think millet in there. Man, let me tell you what, as long as it's not raining out, they love that stuff. That stuff is awesome. They love oats, they love the cracked corn, and I forget, I think it's one other grain. I think it's millet in there. They love that stuff, and it's not that expensive. That stuff is like, you can buy the corn for like $8.99 a bag, and that stuff is like $11.99 a bag, 50 pounds. Keep that in mind for next deer season. Tractor Supply. This is going to be so pretty if it snows. I think I'm going to set the camera up back here and live stream, just let it run if it starts snowing. I would guess probably about 9 o'clock or so I might do that, because I'm going to be back there hunting in the woods. And I did think too, if we start to get some heavy snow and ice, I may not be able to make it to the processor if I get a deer. So I've got my hanger set up at the barn, and what I can do is I can actually just field dress it and let the deer hang in the barn for 24 hours and take it over to the processor the next day. I think that's what I'll do, because I'd like to put at least one more deer up in the freezer before it goes. So anyways, drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys are doing. I got backup power, I got plenty of food, I'm getting ready to go split some kindling, I got a ton of firewood, so I'm excited. I'm not worried, I'm excited. Enjoy yourself, have fun in the snow. I'll talk to you later. Doc.